babes. I did a live stream recently and I got so many questions from you guys about the creative process and how COVID and quarantine is affecting our creative process. So I've been thinking about that and trying to come up with some answers for you in case some of you are struggling right now, which is totally understandable. I'm not sure if COVID has negatively affected my creative process. It has affected my well-being negatively for sure, but something about just kind of being inside and the boredom and like being immersed in my own thoughts, something about that has led to a lot of songwriting. My personal sort of approach to songwriting is always to let things be really easy. I live in Nashville now, but I really despise the traditional way of Nashville songwriting, which is often a bunch of strangers getting together in a room with a brief of like a specific song that they're trying to write and they have to knock it out in 3 hours. And that does not feel life-giving to me. That feels like homework. I'm not in this music industry to like, roll out these objectives handed out to me by somebody else. So I like to write more on the fly when I feel inspired. But I will say the only way that I'm able to do that and still create enough content in order to like be a full-time musician is because I have kind of made a deal with inspiration that I will always listen to her when she calls, when she speaks. So like last night, for example, it was like 1:30 in the morning and this song idea popped in my head. I got up, got out of bed, went downstairs, went on my phone, wrote it down, recorded the melody, and I've been able to work on it this morning with coffee. But if thoughts and ideas were coming to me and I was kind of just ignoring them and be like, no, come back later, I don't have time for you now, well, then it's like not really gonna work. So if you wanna kind of work on this always writing inspirations wave, you have to become friends with inspiration and let her lead and drop everything you're doing and listen to her when she comes. Otherwise, I think when I'm not doing that, when I'm not making space for inspiration, that's when I'm like banging my head against the wall, trying to come up with something in order to meet a deadline or some crap like that. And that, to me, is so soul-sucking. And that's not to say that I don't sit down sometimes with the intention of writing. It's not like I'm always just walking around and like, then I just have this overwhelming emotion, like, oh, I must write about this. It's not always like that. Sometimes it literally is I'm just fiddling at the piano, just sort of quietly asking myself if there's anything here, if there's anything I want to share, if there's anything that's naturally coming up, So I do create the environment, but I'm never like demanding a song out of myself. I hate that. It feels so corporate to me. And so I'm not trying to like dog on you if that's your style. I'm just saying for me, it feels so gross. And so if some of you guys have also been frustrated with that writing method, there's other ways to do it. And I guess the point is of this video is find what works for you, experiment, see if you can cultivate that relationship with your inspiration. Like by now at this point, I kind of know how I work, which means I don't freak out when I'm not inspired. If I go a couple months without writing a lot, like that sucks. I feel better when I'm writing, so I would prefer to, but I also can kind of just chill out and be like, yeah, okay, not right now. That means like I'll have this amazing writing episode next month and it'll be awesome and I'll be able to knock out like 5 songs and I will love life again. So it all works out, it all balances out. I hope that helps some of you. I love you.